When Emily's sister called that morning, I almost ignored it. I'd erased every contact tied to her months ago, yet seeing that name flash across my screen made my chest tighten. Against my better judgment, I answered, half expecting some cruel twist of fate. Her voice shook as she said, "Daniel, she's in the hospital. She asked for you." For a heartbeat, I thought it was a trap, another manipulation. But there was no mockery in her tone, just a quiet hum of a place that smelled like disinfectant and regret. I didn't promise I'd come. I only asked, "What happened?" "She collapsed," her sister whispered. "Pneumonia. She's alone." That word, alone, hit me harder than I expected, because that's exactly how she left me, hollow, abandoned. It's strange how pain dulls over time, yet certain memories never lose their edge. I still remember the night she packed her bags. She didn't cry, didn't even look ashamed. She just said, "Mark understands me in a way you never could." Mark, her co-worker, her affair. I'd seen the signs month before, the texts, the late nights disguised as deadlines, the smiles that lingered too long. I wanted to believe she'd stop, that love like ours couldn't vanish overnight. But that night proved me wrong. I didn't shout. I didn't beg. I only said, "I hope he's worth everything you're throwing away." She rolled her eyes, called me dramatic, and walked out, wearing the same perfume she'd worn on our wedding day. When the door shut behind her, so did the life I thought we had. The first few weeks after were brutal. Every corner of the house smelled like her shampoo. Every mug reminded me she liked 2 sugars, not 1. I waited for her to text, to say she regretted it. Instead, I saw her online, smiling in new photos, new city, new man, new life. So I rebuilt mine, out of spite at first. I started running every morning just to clear my head. I stayed late at work, enrolled in night classes, anything to fill the silence. My friends said I looked better. I told them I felt free. The truth? I was just numb. Then one day, a message from her. "Hey, how are you?" I stared at it for 5 full minutes. No apology, no acknowledgement, just casual indifference, as if she hadn't blown up everything we built. I didn't reply, and that silence, for the first time, felt powerful. Weeks passed. Rumors floated around. Things between her and Mark weren't going well. Money problems, jealousy, fights. I told myself I didn't care. And maybe I didn't. Not until this morning's call. I stood outside the hospital for a long time before going in. The automatic doors hissed open, and with that sound, memories came flooding back. Our first day in the rain, her laugh echoing down hallways, how she once called me her safe place. Room 314. That's where she was. I stopped at the door, my hand hovering over the handle, my pulse uneven. Through the glass, I saw her, pale, fragile, eyes closed, a shadow of the woman who'd once told me she didn't need me anymore. When her eyes fluttered open and she saw me, tears filled them instantly. "Daniel," she whispered, her voice cracking. "I didn't think you'd come." I didn't answer. I just watched as she tried to smile, realizing life had already punished her more than I ever could. Her hand trembled as she reached toward me. "Please, I just want to talk." And that's when it hit me. Not anger, not love, just clarity. I stepped inside. The steady rhythm of the heart monitor filled the silence between us. Neither of us spoke for a moment. Her gaze drifted to the flowers on the table, wilted, forgotten, a perfect mirror of how far she'd fallen. "I made mistakes," she said finally, her voice fragile. "I thought I wanted something exciting, something different, but it wasn't real. He wasn't real." I said nothing. I let her words hang heavy in the air. She looked smaller somehow, the arrogance that wants to find her gone completely. "When I left," she continued, "I thought you'd chase me. You always did. You were safe, dependable, and I thought that made you boring." She swallowed hard. But Mark wasn't who I thought he was. He lost his job, started drinking. The fights never stopped. He made me feel like nothing. I wanted to feel sympathy, to see this as redemption. But all I felt was distance, like I was watching a film I'd already seen too many times. I'm sorry, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. I destroyed everything. I destroyed us. Her voice cracked on us, like she couldn't even remember what it meant. I stared at the floor before answering quietly. You didn't just ruin us, Emily. You ruined me. And the worst part? I let you. Her lips trembled. Then, can we at least start over? I'm being discharged next week. Maybe we could. I shook my head slowly. No, Emily. There's nothing left to start from. The man I was when you left, he doesn't exist anymore. Desperation flared in her eyes. I can be better, Daniel. I've changed. I see it now. You were the one who cared, the one who stayed when I didn't deserve it. I was stupid. You weren't stupid, I said softly. You were selfish. There's a difference. For a moment, she just cried, quietly, painfully, the kind of tears that come when there's no one left to blame but yourself. I thought of the man I used to be, the one who waited by the window every night, hoping she'd come home, the one who apologized for things he never did just to keep her happy. That man would have rushed to her, forgiven her instantly, called it destiny. But I wasn't that man anymore. The scars had taught me boundaries. I hope you heal, I said at last, truly, but that healing won't include me. Her hand fell from the bed, as if she'd been holding on to a rope that suddenly snapped. So that's it, she whispered. You're just walking away? I gave a faint smile. You walked away a long time ago. I'm just catching up. She stared at me like she was trying to memorize my face, maybe realizing it was the last time she'd see it without resentment. I turned toward the door, feeling the weight lift with every step. Daniel, she called weakly. I paused but didn't turn. Did you ever stop loving me? The question lingered in the sterile air, fragile and haunting. I thought about it. The sleepless nights, the months I spent trying to hate her but couldn't, the slow process of unlearning someone's presence. Finally, I said, no, but I learned to love myself more. And before she could answer, I walked out. Outside, the air felt lighter. The sky hung heavy with gray clouds, rain threatening to fall. The kind of weather we used to call movie weather. I stood there watching strangers hurry by, coffee cups in hand, each carrying their own quiet heartbreaks. My phone buzzed. A text from her sister. Thank you for visiting. It meant a lot to her. I typed one word, goodbye, and blocked the number. As I slid the phone into my pocket, I realized something I hadn't in a long time. Peace doesn't always arrive with closure. Sometimes it's just a quiet acceptance that not every story needs a happy ending, just an honest one. And in that moment, I wasn't the man she abandoned. I was the man who finally walked away.